It's Full-Time Devils, it's the West Ham preview, joined today by Adam McCullough, Stephen Howson, and Rupert is here again as well. Good to have you on, guys. And just to make one thing clear, Rupert is parked up. She's not currently driving, going 70 miles an hour down the M6. Oh, 30 miles an hour if it's the M6. Right, only one place we can start today. Ollie and his wheels coming off is what some people are saying. I'm not too sure about that. I think it's far too early. But 4 defeats in 5 games... it's not great, is it? Adam, what do you make of it all?
2 of those defeats have been against Wolves and obviously one against a very good Barcelona side as well. And was the other against Arsenal just after PSG? So they're not ideal defeats, especially that FA Cup one. I thought we should have performed a lot better than we did. I don't think the wheels have fallen off. I think we're kind of leveling out. For what we know, we're not as good as the form that we were seeing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, winning all those games. You know, even beating PSG, we kind of knew it was a flash in the pan from that squad and that team. Of course, it's a little bit concerning because we need to turn results around. We need to get wins on the board. Obviously, the tie's still a little bit alive in Europe and in the Premier League. More importantly, we need to pick up points. So it's important we do turn the results around. And it's kind of why I didn't want us to announce Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because if this happened, which it has, then he's under all sorts of pressure. He's getting all sorts of questions asked of him, which wouldn't have been the case if we hadn't announced it yet. And I know really we shouldn't concentrate on the press and we shouldn't concentrate on rumours and reports. But the simple facts of it are that fans do. I've already seen, some today believing everything and anything that's written about Paul Pogba, and getting on his case for a performance that was, I thought, okay yesterday. I don't think it was particularly bad against Barcelona. And with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you're seeing people, saying all sorts about him now, and I just think it's, it was preventable. We didn't have to announce it yet. We did, and the defeats are, of course, going to bring questions and bring reports and rumours and all that. We need to squash it with a victory against West Ham. It's important we do that. It's a winnable game. It's probably a most winnable game out of the run that we've had. And we need to get a win. It's important we win. We can't say, it doesn't matter. The wheels haven't fallen off, and, we're still backing Ollie, but it's important we turn it around.
Yeah. Howson, how important would you say it is in a game like this? A big opportunity to turn things around. West Ham, relatively average this season. We're at home. It's a great chance, isn't it?
I'm not really asked about turning this around, making form, this, that and the other. We've got a simple task to do, and that's to get as many points as possible between now and the end of the season to make sure we're not playing in the Tin Pot Thursday night trophy at the end of the day. That's what we've got to do. So I'm not asked about, I don't care if we play well. I don't care if we play badly. I care about if we get 3 points or not, because there's times when we've deserved 3 points and not got it, and there's times that we've not deserved 3 points and we've got them, or we've not got them. And I think ultimately all we've got to do now is just make sure that we go and we make sure we get the wins. Look, we came out of the back of the PSG game. It's had an overhang. It's had a bit of a impact on everything that's gone on since it. We've struggled in certain games that you wouldn't expect us to. We've, at the end of the day, did anybody think we was beating Barcelona going into that? Because I don't think I did. I think we got lucky that a 60% Barcelona turned up and the opportunity was there in hindsight that we could have beat them. But no one expected us to do anything in that game. It's just that when you look back on that run, you go, wow, 4 defeats in 5 is pretty bad in the grand scheme of things. But when you average it out over what Ollie's done over his reign, I think he's still only second to Pep in terms of what he's done in the league since he took over the job. So that's what you got to look at it as.
Rupert, we are obviously still well and truly in the top 4 battle. We're not out of it, like I have genuinely seen some fans suggesting on Twitter recently. Do you think there is now a real chance, though, of this season, which threatened to finish with a real bang for United, now finishing in a bit of a whimper?
No, I just think we need to, the way we played yesterday and the way we played against Watford and Wolves was completely different, I think. So if they turn up how they did yesterday in every game, on Saturday we need to go into the game like that, then we'll be fine. it's just like, I don't know what's wrong with the players. Like, they just need to keep their heads in the game. I think, like, I don't think Ollie's wheels falling off or whatever. It's just showing that our squad is weak. But we'll improve that. I just think we need to take it game by game and, like, just make sure we win.
Yeah, and I'm sure that West Ham will be thinking this is the perfect time to play us as well, coming off the back of a game against Barcelona and obviously going into another game against Barcelona. There's going to be a few rested, you would think. Marcus Rashford, one who's not 100% at the minute, didn't really look it against Barca. Do you think we are going to see a bit of rotation, Howson?
No, because we've got a bit of forced rotation on our hands with the fullback situation with both Young and Shaw being suspended. So I would expect if there's any rotation, it'll be there. And although I'm not quite sure what the crack is with Marcus, I'd probably stick with him, to be honest, though. I don't think Tony looked at all at the races last night when he came on. I was really excited when he was coming on, thinking this is the guy who gets one chance and gets us back in the fight, doesn't he? But it didn't happen at all. He didn't look himself. So I would persist. I would persist with Rashford a little bit, to be honest. He created our best opportunities of the game. The free kick in the first half. Let's not talk about the second one. That's 2 points in a rugby league game. And the cross that he stuck in for the low was the best cross of the game. I'm not talking about the other fella that put all the rest of the crosses in. I'll get dead angry.
Well, I think one big negative, really, of Ollie's tactics that some people are saying, or his team selection, I should say, Rupert, are the fact that he sometimes perseveres with players who are obviously not 100% fit. We've seen it with Rashford recently. We've seen it with Lingard recently. What do you think of that? Do you think we should be rotating now against West Ham?
I think we should. I think Rashford's looked like he needed a rest for like weeks. I don't understand why he's not rested him. I think it'll do him good. Like, and we've got Martial should start a game. I know he's not been like performing when he has played, but like that doesn't mean you don't play him. Like, I still think he needs to play. And yeah, that'll give Rashi a rest. I don't get all these subs though. Like yesterday, I think his substitutions were so random.
Adam, it's difficult. It's a league game sandwiched in between two absolutely massive Champions League ties. Obviously, a Champions League tie we're still well and truly in. So surely there's going to be a few of those boys who are rested. Who is it?
Well and truly in.
We're still in this tie. Of course we are. We're 1-0 down.
I'd say we're Justin. I don't know about well and truly, but
what? We're 1-0 down.
That aside, I disagree a little bit on what Howson said about Martial. I think his final touch was often off, and there's the one big chance where he usually brings that under control and tucks it, but he let it get away from him, and Gerard Piqué made a recovery. But I thought he looked more dangerous in terms of trying to run in behind defenders, linking up play, trying to make things happen. For me, Lukaku, again, I don't think he was bad yesterday in terms of all-round performance, winning the ball, etc. But in terms of a striker that you want to see trying to get into positions to score, he wasn't doing that for us. And I think Martial changed that a little bit when he come on. Marcus Rashford, I don't think we should start him against West Ham. He has been poor. Ollie said he was ill, I think, in the post-match press conference, and he's been injured recently as well. Whether those things are playing part of that or whether it's just bad form, which is understandable as well. People have got to remember Marcus Rashford is a very young player. He's still finding his feet as a professional footballer. He's still, what we've got to understand with the whole team, not just Marcus Rashford, is we're going from a Jose Mourinho style of play to an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer style of play. We haven't had a pre-season. A lot of these players have gone from passive football, which doesn't require an awful lot of energy, to playing a football where we're required to put more into it. And I think physically there's a lot of demands on these players, and maybe we're starting to see that now as well, where some of them are getting fatigued with picking up a lot of injuries. Ollie also, Herrera's not injured, Valencia's not injured, but they clearly don't have a future at the club. So I think he's starting to look towards the future at Manchester United. Maybe he's playing some of these players to, find out, are they good enough? Where do I need to fix things? But that still doesn't excuse playing Rashford if he's not in form, and we've got other options. But I think injuries play part in that as well. And it feels a lot of doom and gloom at the moment. But I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward skeptically to the summer, but looking forward to seeing what kind of rebuild happens, because I think Ollie will be ruthless in terms of getting rid of players. I know that doesn't look like that when Ashley Young's starting every week, but I think he will be ruthless in terms of getting rid of players, and it'll be interesting to see who we bring in. I love Ander Herrera, but let's be real. If he leaves, will we miss him much? Miss him maybe as a character and as a squad player. But first 11 wise, I think we can do better. We've lost better players in the past as well. And I love Herrera. I think I would love to see him stay. I'd love to see him sign a contract. But maybe being forced to make some of those big decisions is what United need. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Ollie maybe giving a few of the younger kids a chance and pushing a few of the experienced heads out of the side as well, which is a big possibility. So there's a big summer ahead for United, and I'm not really I forgot what the question was, but
it was, are we going to rotate this weekend?
I'm not too worried, and that's why we may see some odd decisions in terms of team selection. But rotation-wise, I don't think Rashford should play. I'd like to see Martial start. I'd like to see Lingard start, and let them try and play themselves into form because they're both coming back from injuries as well.
Okay, then, predicted 11 time. This is where everyone who's on the Skype call today predicts who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to start in the game against West Ham. What we do is we cobble together everyone's score from the year and we put it down to an average. So at the minute, in the lead from everyone on today's video, Stephen Howson, 12 appearances and an average of 8.2. Just behind him, though, I believe, is Adam McCullough on an 8.2 average. Also, actually the same score, but on 23 appearances. Then just behind Adam, it's me on 8.1 with 8 appearances, and way at the back in last place is Rupert. That's unfair though. You've only been on once, so that is unfair.
So our score should be better, obviously.
Well, here's your chance.
Okay, so De Gea in goal, Dal at right back, then Lindelof and Smalling, then have Rojo at left back. I know that's really random, but he is alive. He was on the bench against Barcelona. And if Shaw's out, who else are we going to play there? Why not? And then keep the midfield the same with McTominay, Fred and Pogba. I think they need to keep that rhythm going into the second leg against Barcelona. But then have Lingard, Martial and Lukaku, because I think Rashford really needs resting, so this would be the opportunity, and I think Martial really needs a full game, like he needs to start a game. So yeah, that's my lineup.
Okay then, Howson, who's Ollie playing against West Ham?
I would go with Big Dave in net. I go with the low right back, Lindelof and Smalling at centre half, and I don't think he'll go with Williams, but I would like to see Williams at left back. He's had a great season captain in the under-18s. He's got real good potential, but like all of these lads, potential means nothing unless you get the opportunity to prove what you can do. And we've given Ollie a lot of praise for giving out debuts and giving minutes to academy players, but there's been a lot of opportunities to put them on the bench, to have them on the bench at times where, even against Barcelona, we see Rojo sitting there, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a United fan that expects Rojo to have a long United future. And you think, well, why was that taken up by Rojo when it could have been taken up by someone that may be a potential game changer, Chong, Angel, or Greenwood, someone along those lines. So I'm putting Williams in and more hopeful than expecting. I think he's going to play Rojo, to be honest, or Damian, if we can find him. The midfield, I'm going to go with a midfield 4. I'm going to go with a diamond. And I kind of agree with what Rupert was saying there. I think Fred and McTominay definitely deserve another start. I thought they were fantastic against Barcelona in the job that they asked to do. But I think that they're also both a little limited. Fred was a little bit hesitant when switching to play. Maybe it was because he was looking at Ashley Young and going, oh, do I have to? And McTominay's never had it in his locker to knock a ball around. Even though he did a brilliant defensive job and he did a brilliant marking job. You saw opportunities and times when he could have drove the ball forward or he could have knocked a ball into the final third, but he doesn't have it in his locker. And I don't think I'm being disrespectful, or I don't mean to be disrespectful to him when I say he's a basic player.
Yeah.
And he can come in and do a job when it's a very simple job, but sometimes, and maybe even West Ham at home is a time when we need someone who's a little bit more expansive, but I think he's earned the right to play again. So I would like to see him given that opportunity, and maybe he's the one that sits and Fred the one that carries it a little bit forward, because Fred does have that in his locker. Pogba alongside those two, but also Lingard in the 10, just to give us a little bit of movement. And up front, Lukaku just on that right-hand side forward, and Rashford as that left-hand side forward, because I'm liking the partnership, and I'm thinking Lukaku's starting to look all right in a 2. I think it, like a centre-half partnership, it takes time to get used to people's runs and who's going to stay and who's going to go and all that sort of stuff. So I would like to see those two given a bit more of an opportunity going forward. And again, I agree that he probably needs a rest, but I think he's over the worst of his injury and he didn't get any rest in the middle of it. So I'd say just keep playing him.
Adam, who is in your 11, mate?
David De Gea in goal. Probably see a change at the back. I wouldn't be surprised to see Smalling and Jones. He usually take Lindelof out and put him back in for the European game. So I'd go with Smalling and Jones, although personally I'd play Lindelof. The full-back positions, Delo, Darmian. I'd rather see Darmian than Rojo. I don't know what... Sorry?
Isn't he injured?
Darmian.
Yeah.
Is he?
Who knows? He's not played. He barely played.
Where even is he?
Also, like, you know what? Yeah, I'd rather see him at right back than Ashley Young, even when Young's available.
Adam, I'd rather see me at right back than Ashley Young. And I'm left footed.
Yeah, that's the only thing preventing us from starting right back.
You being right back. All right, I'll go Rojo, Delo. That's bloody wild, that is, isn't it? Rojo, Delo, Smalling. I'm going to change Jones to Lindelof then because we need a bit of coolness in there.
Are you copying me now?
Yeah. McTominay, Fred, Pogba, keep them together if there's no injuries. And then Lingard, Martial, Lukaku. Give the boy Rashi a rest, drop him, whatever you want to call it, but just take him out of the firing line for a bit. Maybe bring him back in against Barcelona. I think against Barcelona, Rashford could do well. Big pitch, will have a lot of chance to break. And I think that either Lukaku and Martial or Lukaku and Rashford would probably be the front two against Barcelona. So I want to see Martial come back to form though. If he'd had a few more minutes under his belt, he probably scores that opportunity where PK takes it off his toe. So we need to get him back to fitness.
Okay then, staying with Adam, let's talk about the opposition. Go in a bit more detail about West Ham, looking at the table. Not really a threat of relegation. They're not really going to pull up any sticks further up the table either. Pretty average for them this year. What have you made of them?
They're an interesting team in the sense that they've got some very good players. I like Manuel Lanzini. Arnautovic, when he wants to, is a very good player. Then you look further back, obviously Declan Rice had a decent season. I don't read into the stuff that says he should be coming to United and all this stuff, but he's had a decent season. And the likes of Aaron Cresswell are all right at fullback when they get forward in terms of their delivery and stuff. So they are a side that have threats, and I think with United expected to press them back, attack them, keep them pegged back into their own half, they have the ability to hit us on the break. Arnautovic can stretch any defence. Emmanuel Lanzini working in between the lines can cause you problems, and he's got a great shot from outside the area. So I think they have got a decent side. Pellegrini's doing a lot better with them than they have done under previous managers. And I think they're probably par for course. I think they'd be expecting to probably challenge Wolves and Watford to be the best of the rest, just outside that top 6 area, top 7. But I don't think they're amazing, but they are decent side and they could cause us problems. So we can't take them lightly, but I do think we have enough to beat them.
One of those teams where you know some of those players could just pull out 2 out of 10 for the last 5 weeks and then come to Old Trafford and just absolutely smash it. Players like Arnautovic and things like that. You just don't know. Howson, what do you make of West Ham this season? What areas of the pitch do we need to be worried about the most?
Their attack against our ordinary defence, I would say. I think Arnautovic causes you problems. Obviously, Chicharito's chipped in with a handful of goals, although I'd say Felipe Anderson's probably their biggest threat. Good footballer. Snodgrass can get on the ball as well. They're weak I think they're weak in defence themselves. I don't rate Fabianski. Zabaletta's about 105 years old. Declan Rice, I think there's a lot of hype about him, but I don't think it's necessarily justified. And Mark Noble shocked me, actually. I had a quick look before. Mark Noble's only 31. I'm almost certain he was at school with my granddad. He's well old. I actually don't believe that he's only 31. That's ridiculous. But luckily for us, he plays like he's 52, so he's all good. I think if we have a little bit of it in midfield, we're all right. Apart from that, they're wildly inconsistent. I think they've lost 4 of their last 6. So I think they've only beaten. I think they beat Newcastle and Huddersfield, something like that, in their 2 wins. So this should be a straightforward victory for United at home, but
okay.
Will it be?
Now I just need to talk to the 2 pixels on the corner of the screen that we also know as Rupert. Rupert, what have you made of West Ham this season?
I agree with everything these guys have said. I think their attack is strong. Like Felipe Anderson, he's their top scorer, and I think Chicharito will be looking to score against us. Obviously, I think Declan Rice, he's had a good season, and he's 20. So those like young players, they want to have a big game against like big clubs like United. So and everyone plays their best game against United, and for them because they're not playing like they've got nothing to play for really. Like they'll be looking for the little things. So like beating us twice this season, like they beat us 3-1 the first time round. That's like a little achievement.
Oh, it's a trophy in itself for them.
Yeah, exactly. Beating us. So they'll be like fully up for it. So I don't think it'll be easy. I think we just got to go for it like with everything.
If West Ham do the double over us this season, they'll have a 5 DVD box set coming out by the Christmas. No worries about it. I'm so tired today. Can you tell? Can you tell I've had 4 hours sleep? Honestly, shattered. Guys, score prediction because the internet's packing up. I'm packing up. I'm shattered. Rupert, what score is it finishing?
3-1 to United.
3-1 to United. Confidence. Adam.
2-0 Manchester United.
2-0 Manchester United. And Howson.
2-1 United.
I reckon we're going to absolutely smash them and we're all going to be in high spirits again come the end of the weekend, and then we're going to go to Barcelona and do the same to them. 3-0 United. Guys, get the comments in below with all your opinions. If you disagree with something we've said today, tell me about it. Tell me why. Comment below. We'll see you next time. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a nap. Honestly, I'm not going Champions League games when I'm up at 4 AM the next day ever again. See you in a bit.